And welcome back to Kirby. Kirby and the Forgotten Lorb. Look at our boy. Look at him go. Look at those fluffy, fluffy clouds.
Ooh.
And the
Ice
abrupt,
level.
yeah, the very abrupt biome transition there.
Yes, the biome transition from carnival to winter.
That's true. Carnivals are spontaneously arise in nature. It's emergence.
They appear in nature over tectonic ages.
Wherever clowns convergently evolve, carnivals inevitably follow.
Did the clowns evolve in the carnival, or did the carnival be created by the clowns?
I would assume that the clowns create the carnival. I mean, the other way around would just be silly.
Oh, of course. Clowns are never silly.
Yeah, that's true. Hold on, I need music of some sort. What's it gonna be tonight? Drum and bass. Sure, why not? Everyone thinks of drum and bass when they think of Kirby. So, Miller and Rick, how are y'all?
I am tired.
I'm sorry. You've done a lot of work. You've done a goodly amount of work. Good for you. Boxer asks, how has making prints been going for you, Rick?
That's the tiring part.
Yeah.
I just finished it like 3 hours ago.
Oh boy.
I actually, I'm not even sure I've, seen the prints that you know. Hold on, let me go take a look, see what you got. Might want to get one for myself.
Rick's like, no more.
The store that was open for the convention is closed right now.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't be getting any more.
Weren't you saying that it was like Girls' Night was your most popular print?
The ladies'
Was it?
night, yes.
Nice. So, how's everybody in chat?
Come on, Kirby, face the correct direction.
Come on, Kirby. Worst vending machine ever.
Don't you hate it when your vending machine won't face the right way for you? You have to keep yelling at it.
Stop me if I've ever told this story before. But when I was a little kid, my mom was teaching at a school that was within walking distance of mine. But she would teach till 4 p.m. So I would walk over there and just be utterly bored out of my mind, on the school grounds for a couple hours. It was like an adult school, and I would go to the cafeteria and basically do like James Bond stuff with the vending machine. I'd pretend that like I had to punch in this exact combination to like defuse it, or it was gonna explode or something. It was.
You were really bored.
It was like a Calvin and Hobbes, cardboard box moment. I mean, there was just nothing to do. There weren't any kids on the campus. So yeah, it was good times. Like it got really ridiculous. If you'd happen to be there, it probably would have looked really strange. Just me being like slowly, cautiously approaching the vending machine, and then be like, boop, 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 I did it.
Yes, I would think you were a weird kid then, and I would think you were totally normal now.
Yeah, this is how I grew up. This is the end result.
No, I get it. I guess I feel lucky that I always had pretty good after-school programs when I was growing up.
I probably should have. Go ahead.
I remember doing a lot of chess club.
Nice. God,
elementary.
Actual chess club. That's awesome. I don't think I knew anyone in chess club. Not personally. We definitely had a chess club. Were you pretty good at it?
Not really. I think I could beat the other kids, and that was about it. And I don't think I've played chess again since I was like teenager.
My uncles again stop me. I've told the story before. My uncles, who are both crazy, had this kind of battle chess variant where they would. Mostly I saw them do this on like camping trips, where like they would take like a piece of like a piece of cardboard or fabric or whatever, and like make like opaque fabric, and then like divide each half of the board, arrange the pieces however they wanted, with like a time limit of like a minute. And then when the minute was up, they'd pull away the barrier and play the game no matter how the pieces were arranged. And it was crazy. I don't remember any of the details, but I remember
That's like Chess Roguelite Edition. Time.
Yeah. I mean, it would either be over quickly because there was like an instant vulnerability, or like it would take a long time because of the irregularity of the arrangement.
I like the idea, at least. It does kind of take chess back to its war simulation roots of like, everything is not going to be perfectly squared off and even.
Yeah.
Point.
I remember they would try to arrange like clusters in one corner of the board. And sometimes that would work out well. Other times it would be just like chaos. And it was good times. I was too young to really appreciate it when they were doing that. Like when we went to Yellowstone, I think I was 8 maybe. So Bobinator asked if you ever played chess too. It's a thing. I have not. What is that, Bobinator? Do tell. Tell us, Justin!
Oh, that was good timing.
Tell us, Stoker!
People kept saying, if chess is so great, why isn't there chess too? So they made one.
I have not played chess 2, but I've seen the 5-dimensional chess.
Isn't
I
that
think I can do that. Sorry, what were you saying, Stoker?
I don't know.
Alright. Great, we're all on the same foot. Nobody knows what you said.
Yay! So how's everyone doing tonight?
Pretty good, thanks. Very full. I got some frozen chicken breasts, and they were, I don't know, bigger than they looked, maybe heavier than they looked, whatever. But like I had one, and I feel very, very weighed down at this point. So It's good, but yeah.
So you got some big heavy
Big-
breasts.
Yeah, big pendulous chicken titty. But yeah, did a nice little thing with like spinach and tomatoes and Alfredo sauce. It was good.
Well, that sounds lovely.
It was. I'm real good at Italian food. Not to
I
humble
took-
brag, but
Not to humble brag, you're like, not to humble brag, but it's better than anything you've ever eaten in your entire life, and you're all losers because you didn't have it.
here I'll send you a photo like I often do.
Yes, I'm finally using my retro icon again. I've been meaning to for ages, and I just now got around to putting it back up. Oh, hello,
At
baby
last.
child.
Oh, hey, Stoker. I'm making more of those, so if you want another one, let me know.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, Stoker's doing it in effort to promote the fact that Jonas is making more
Well,
of them.
I don't want to I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but it like, you know.
Everybody pay Jonas money! Pay Jonas money or I'll never see my family again.
Oh no!
Wait, it's your job to pay him money. You're the one who does that.
Yeah,
Listen,
so-
I'm outsourcing. Anyway, yeah, his icons are good. Jonas is good. He deserves all of your money, all of it.
I'm the best little boy. I'm like America's favorite little darling.
America's favorite little darling.
Yes.
Jonas.
You know it's true. Don't you dare contradict me.
I would never even dream of it, Jonas. It wouldn't even enter into my consciousness. Of course, there's lots of things that don't enter into my consciousness. Especially when I'm as sleep-deprived as I am today.
Oh no, Stoker, no. Me too.
Stoker, yes!
God.
Are you just overworking yourself, or is it like you just can't fall asleep?
Just having trouble falling asleep. But I go through phases like that. It'll eventually even out.
I need to start like detoxing off the daily coffee. Now that it's spring, I don't really have a reason to like. Now that it's spring and it's reasonably light outside, you know, I don't in the mornings. I don't really need to dose up anymore. So I need to like wean myself off it and have a hellish week of withdrawal, and then you know, my sleep cycle might actually right itself.
Yeah, Jonas, you just gotta wean. Wean, Jonas. Wean.
Wean.
Just remember, every time you have a desire to drink more coffee, just rub your elbow. It's your weenus. It'll help you wean.
Okay. Rub my elbow.
Yeah, because it's your weenus.
All right. Look here.
That's what he said.
Yeah. That's what this flap of skin that's on the end of your elbow is called your weenus.
So just wub your weenus.
Okay, this sounds like one of those things that's bullshit, but I have to let me Google it. Hold on. This is probably this is bullshit, isn't it? Because like I remember this thing when I was in elementary school where one of my friends was like, "Hey, did you know that the word dude actually means the hair on an elephant's ass?" And like I never got confirmation on that from
No,
anywhere
because
ever.
dude is penis slang. It has nothing to do with an elephant's ass.
Hold on, let me.
I think it's
Wait, so
like
dude is not like the ultimate gender neutral term. It is literally gendered.
yes, it is. Yeah, it's like some sort of. It's not even slang. It's like some sort of technical term, like how dork means whale penis.
Thank you,
So-
BlazeCat, for the subscription.
Oh,
Thank you, BlazeCat, for condoling
That
our
BlazeCat,
terrible
I
conversation.
can't see from this distance. I don't have my glasses on.
Thank you for sanctioning our buffoonery.
Okay, you know what? Apparently, you are correct. Miller Weenus is the skin on the elbow. But
Who
I can't
coined
help but
that?
wonder. Let me find out. Hold on.
Charles W. Weenus of the Ween Society.
Seems like a really weird thing to have a name for.
Yeah, well, you know what, Jonas?
If
Everything.
you don't know who came up with it, there's a 50% chance it was Shakespeare.
Sure.
Look for
why not?
weenus mentions in Shakespeare.
Is this
Much ado about weenus.
Is this a weenus I see before me? Sir, are you insulting the House of Weenus? Anyway, wait a minute. Let's see.
The House of Weenus. Is that one of those later Universal movies where they have all the monsters together? Like House of Weenestein?
So what?
You heard me, House of Weenestein.
Anyway,
It's actually a frat movie starring all the monsters.
God, I could see that working.
House of Frattenstein.
I could see the Weenus working.
So,
God, I had a friend in 7th grade who was like, hey, do you masticate? And like, it was so stupid.
never got old, did it?
Oh, no, it never got old. Never, ever. It definitely didn't get old by about, November or so of freshman year.
It all the time. I do it every day. Sometimes I even do it with other people.
Right, yeah.
Damn, Miller, you a freak. I bet you never do it in public.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
My God, right at a restaurant table and everything. Anyway.
Circle around, Melman, and make it funny again.
At least funny for us. Jonas's mileage may vary.
I'm trying to figure out a way to bring it back around to Weenus, but I don't know. It's
It all comes back to weenus in the end, Jonas.
always.
I have
You
no
know
idea
that-
what specific thing they want me to do with the chain bomb in this area, so I'm just throwing it all over the place.
That's fair.
Sounds like what I would do, were I in your shoes. Presuming you're wearing shoes. Are you wearing shoes?
I am
You're
not
probably
wearing
not.
shoes.
I was gonna say, you're probably not wearing shoes.
I'm wearing flip flops.
Yeah, I always assume Rick doesn't have anything on below the waist.
What better way to game?
He has a bottomless enthusiasm for it. It's funny because it's... As for me, I have slippers on. Like little house moccasins. They're very comfy.
I need to get some new moccasins. I have some, and they're very comfortable, but they're too small for my feet now.
Stoker, how have we never done a bottomless refills joke with Penny?
Because she's everythingless.
But fine. All right, you know what? Your face.
Although, remind me to tell you about some things.
No. You need to have a bottomless refills joke, and then she gets a cup, and then it doesn't have a lid on it. She's like, "What's this? It's topless."
But remind me, Jonas, there's some things that were being discussed re future story developments that you might find interesting and fun.
Oh, okay, sure. Oh no, we're back to the light bulb.
Oh no, the light bulb.
This is a very cursed-looking form.
Well, I mean, a lot of Kirby's forms in this game are cursed. Let's be real. It's cursed be.
Cursed.
Yep.
The Curb-Tucky Derby.
The Curb-Tucky Derby. God. That in itself is a cursed thing to say.
Did you not see the conversation that Rick and Jonas were having in the Discord beforehand?
Oh,
Jonas mentioned that,
right.
and then Rick was like, "Now I'm just imagining Kirby eating a horse like the car."
God.
You wouldn't download and eat a horse.
You wouldn't download and eat a horse. I might download and eat a horse.
I
You
wouldn't
can't stop
download
me.
and eat anything.
Thank you, Bobinator.
Man, wouldn't it be nice if replicators were a thing? Seriously.
You know, I could see that going horribly wrong.
Yeah, and it would be entertaining.
Fair.
What's your point? Listen, just because I get a hankering occasionally for Long Pig.
Long pig. What about Long Gordo?
Long Gordo. No, not Long Gordo. He knows what he did.
You know the weird thing is about this game? Why do they call the little spiky guys Gordos? Like, I mean, they're not fat. They're spiky. They're little spiky things with eyeballs. You know, why not call them like?
Because all the Kirby enemies have weird names like that.
I mean, most of the Mario enemies do too. Why exactly is a little mushroom man with feet and fangs called a Goomba?
Well, now I'm going to Google that. Thank you, Stoker.
You can blame Kirby, and I mean the real Kirby. Not Jack Kirby, Bob Kirby.
Okay. Ray's in the chat now.
Hello.
Hey, Ray.
Ray, hello, Ray.
All right. Apparently, according to the Wikipedia article, Goomba is derived from a Sicilian word.
Oh yeah, I knew that was an Italian thing.
I mean, very loosely derived from a Sicilian word, which is Koompa. Or I'm probably saying that wrong.
Koompa, Loompa, Doopity-doo. Hey, wait, no, I knew it was an Italian thing, and they did it because Mario and Luigi, etc., etc.
I never knew this.
What are they? Where are they called in Japan again? They have a very different name in Japan. Thank you.
Which is where Kuribo's shoe comes from, I guess. Which is weird
exactly.
because they didn't translate that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that they didn't bother to call it like Goomba shoe.
You ever notice how with the Goombas, the eyes are on the cap, but with the regular like power mushrooms and toad people, the eyes are on the stem?
Well, you know, it's because they're
I'm gonna be thinking about that forever now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's because they're you know they're different species or something. I don't know.
Are they though? Are you sure, Stoker? Would you bet your life on it? I don't know.
I mean, maybe. I ain't got nothing else going on.
If you're
right
like
now.
dangling from a window, on the 50th floor, in a Die Hard movie, and the bad guy's like, the bad
Yeah, when you're dangling like that, we call that a semi-defenestration.
And the bad guy's like, the only way you can stop the bad guy is, knowing Super Mario trivia, okay.
I mean, honestly, if that's the way I can stop the bad guy, I might have a chance. If they're specifically like Super Mario trivia, I'm like, thank God I can do this.
Like Alan Rickman's...
There's only one way to defuse the bomb. You must answer its Ken Pender's trivia problem.
There was, I do know a couple of the Japanese names for some of the Mario enemies. Like, I know about, I know that piranha plants are Pakun flowers. And, because some of these names were used in the instruction manual of the original Super Mario Land on the Game Boy. For some reason, they just didn't bother translating some of those names into their usual equivalent. So you got like Pakun flowers, and I think Toad's name in Japan is Hinopio.
All right, I got a list. I'll give some of the interesting ones.
Okay.
Toad's name is Kinopio. Don't know what that means.
It means it means hello.
Thank you.
That's what they named the volcano shopkeeper in.
Yeah, the volcano
Mario RPG.
shopkeeper in Super Mario RPG is named Hinopio. It's based off of Kinopio.
Yep.
Let's see. Bullet bills are just called killers.
Oh. Like the band.
Yeah, like the band. Cheap Cheeps are called Puka Pukas.
I like that. Puka Puka.
Koopa Troopas are Noko Nokos.
Yep, that's right. Noko Noko. That's why there's an item in the Mario RPG called the Knock Knock Shell.
Right. Lakitu is Jugamu, which is why there's a Jugamu's Cloud in Mario 3. Again, why didn't they translate that?
His name is Jugamu?
Yeah.
Chugama na paipo. Churigan churigano. Churigan truske.
It's easy for you, Zay.
We'll always associate that with FMA.
I mean, yeah, that's why I originally heard it, and then only later did I figure out, it's actual, like, fairy tale.
Yeah. I thought the voice actors were just bullshitting and they were getting it on mic. Potaboos are called Babaroos. Right.
Babaru, Babaru.
Okay. And Spinies are called Togazos. I'm probably horribly mispronouncing that. Oh, and Buzzy Beetles are called Mitos.
I see.
And
So you're saying everything has a different name.
Not everything. Let's see, a couple things. I mean, coins and fire flowers are just called coins and fire flowers. Mario and Luigi are Mario and Luigi. Princess Peach is Peachahime.
Peachahime.
It doesn't
Hammer
have
Brother.
like Bloody Peach.
Hammer Brothers are Hammer Brothers.
A hammer brother is a hammer brother.
And
A
Bowser's
Hammer Brother is a Hammer Brother.
Bowser's literal Japanese name translation is Great Demon King Koopa.
Yeah, I love that.
Isn't that good?
Fucking love Bowser.
Is he
He's the
supposed to be
best.
more of an Oni, or I guess when he was like originally designed?
I mean, he's a turtle, but I think what they're doing is taking cues from like demon and dragon elements, you know?
Yeah, he's like everything else. He's got at least a little bit of what's his face from the Monkey King in him. You know, that Great Bull
The
King
big
or
ox,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. Like it always comes back to the Monkey King sooner or later.
Right, you know, like in so many RPGs, you've got Excalibur, even though it makes no sense. And
Yeah,
that's
it's
probably,
like the Eastern Odysseus, or like you said, Arthurian tale. It's
Yeah.
like everyone bases their thing off that.
right, and probably original Discard was like, you know, whatchamacallit, Grasscutter Kusanagi, I think.
Oh yeah. I learned about that from Usagi Yojimbo.
Nice. I think I did too.
But yeah, it's Bowser's cool. I like Bowser. He's one of my favorites.
They do more of what they did in like Odyssey, where they make him a little bit more of a sympathetic villain.
I always found him sympathetic, even when he wasn't. I'm like, hell yeah, take over the Mushroom Kingdom. Show those little fungus freaks.
I guess the closest to that would probably be Sunshine, because he literally didn't do anything evil in Sunshine. It was just his son was being a doofus.
Yeah. All he did was go on a family vacation and lie to his son about who his mom was. What got me about that was how Peach just rolled with it. She was just like, "I'm his mom? Okay." She's like, "That seems plausible."
She's like, well, there was that one weekend. And
I ship it.
Like, what happens in New Donk City stays in New Donk City.
New Donk City. What a time to be alive. What a time to donk.
Be right back.
Very well.
Nuclear Slayer 52 says, it's possible babies are delivered through stork. In Mushroom Kingdom specifically, not in real life. Thank you for the clarification.
I mean, according to the ending of Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, that is in fact the case.
I wonder
Actually,
if anyone,
not just the ending, but the beginning.
I wonder if anyone argued about whether or not that was canon. Like this is clearly revisionist. Blah, 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 you know, like the Star Wars kind of conversation.
Jonas, why would you even ask that? Of course they did. Do you remember that one Animaniacs skit about the Please, Please, Please Get a Life Foundation?
I've never seen it, but I know of it. Yes.
Yeah, they're like, do you endlessly argue about cartoon trivia on the internet? I remember they were like, you know, the life you gain may be your own. Good times. It's good to know that things haven't changed, really.
Yeah. Not that much.
Times change, people don't.
That's true.
You know, mediums become popular when someone uses it to gripe. That's the moment. There should be a name. There should be a name for that. To gripe or nitpick.
Gripification.
The gripification.
The gripification is nigh. It's like the singularity, but with more bitching.
Oh, Boxer, no question. Boxer asks, I wonder if it's literally like that back in medieval times with fables and folklore. I mean, we have this, you know, cliche of, like, the stage act where people throw rotten fruit and veggies at them, and I'm positive that didn't come from nowhere, you know?
Yeah, it came from the garden.
I mean... I mean, I'm sure there were also more cerebral arguments. But, yeah, I give it the card. Thank you, Stover.
It took you a moment, didn't it?
But, yeah, no, I'm sure that in every single age, the same shit has been spouted in every medium, and every generation thinks they invented it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know...
Just like every generation thinks they invented certain dirty jokes and innuendo.
Yeah.
And then you read the translated writing on the walls of Pompeii.
Yes. God. I love ancient graffiti. It's great.
I love that one cave with the Viking graffiti in it way up on the ceiling. Like,
this is very high.
Yeah, that was the one. Like, they spent all this time wondering what it said, and they were like, maybe it's for religious purposes, and they finally got it translated, and it was just like, this is very high.
I love it when,
I like those runes at I think it was on the Hagia Sophia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Viking runes that were scrawled there, and it's basically the Norse equivalent of Halfdan was here.
I've seen scholarly translations where they try to make it sound like sophisticated, like, you know, Cecilius hath the posterior of a donkey, you know, or something like that. And it's like, come on, you know it, you know what they're saying, and it doesn't sound that clever.
My favorite thing where they're trying to cover up for what the ancients are actually saying is of course it would get onto this topic. All those, like, big ol' stone phalluses and dildos they've found over the years.
Yeah.
And they're always like, this is for ritual purposes.
Yeah.
And that's part of it is that they know, like they actually know, but their museum sponsors won't let them say what it really is.
It's a complex abstraction of human desire.
It's fertility ritual, magic wand, winglewang.
Exactly.
A Life-O
Could've
Mall
said it.
sign. This was a logo for a Life-O Mall owned by a Life-O holding company. Making life even livelier was their corporate slogan. They ran a wide range of businesses: entertainment, arenas, food shops, service industries. Now the remains of those businesses can be found in all kinds of places, empty and alone.
Oh, just like the real world.
Is this supposed to be a lively mall? Is that what they're... Well, whatever. Now I want to look at, like, Kirby enemies in Japanese.
I mean, many of those names are probably going to be fairly similar.
I'm just curious. Well, let's see. Let's start with Waddle Dee, shall we?
Waddle dee, waddle doo.
What is Waddle Dee called in Japan? Oh, they're called Waddle Dee. Okay, sure.
Not terribly surprised.
Oh, they're called Dandelion Waddle Dees.
Oh, well.
Oh, no. That's just one kind.
Yeah, Jonas, there's a lot of different kinds of waddle dees.
I misread the thing. Fine. Let's see about King DDD. His Japanese name is King DDD. Okay. Fine.
You were really hoping for something vastly different, weren't you?
I wanted something weird, like Bowser's name, like demon, like demon prince lord, of damnation, destruction.
Penguinton.
Yeah.
Demon Lord Damnation Hellbeast Pengu.
Okay. Meta Knight's name is Meta Knight. God damn it.
Now, is it Meta Knight, as in, like, outside of the story, or is it, like, Metal Knight, and somehow the L got lost in translation?
I think it's katakana, so it's just Meta Knight. I think, yeah, that looks like katakana. Let's see. Are they all just phonetic? I don't know, give me an enemy. I'll look them up.
Squidward.
Gordo. Let's see what the Gordos are. It's gonna be like Gordo or something like that. Yep, Gordo. Okay, so they didn't. So with this game, they didn't bother coming up with funny names. They just made them as is.
Well, I'll be Hornswoggled.
What about Clawreline? Oh, she actually has a different name.
What's her name in Japan?
No, she doesn't.
Jonas.
It's phonetic.
Her name is Jonas? That's so weird!
Jonas, don't look up. You may spoil.
Oh. Alright, fine. I saw nothing. Her name wouldn't be a spoiler, would it?
Yeah, but there might be spoilers for other stuff in this game.
Okay,
I think is the concern here.
As you wish.
It's like when I looked up your best friend in the Ace Attorney game we were playing. I looked up the best friend because I was like trying to look for something, and then I saw the wiki article, and I'm just like, that's a huge spoiler.
Well, they need.
Yes. Would you try and just Google someone's name to find their Wikipedia page, and like the preview on Google is already spoiling things.
God. Yeah, it's getting tougher and tougher to avoid that.
Ah well, say lovey.
Indeed.
Say it.
Say la vie?
There. I'm content now.
Good.
Pew pew.
I'm always amazed when I manage to make it into anything that's over a week old without being spoiled.
You know, for several of the recent Marvel movies and the most recent Bond movie, I had to do I had to make a concerted effort to avoid stuff. You know, like the internet was Twitter was mostly good about it, but there were articles here and there, and when it figured out that the algorithm figured out that I liked certain things, so it would try and poke the articles towards me, and that was really incredibly annoying because obviously I didn't want to read them.
They're like, how fans are reacting to that plot twist that James Bond is an alien.
Exactly. Yes. God. There aren't a lot of movies where I give a shit about spoilers, but there are a few, and yeah, a few movies, and every once in a great while, some TV series. Can you still say TV series? Do people just say streaming series now, or what of it?
I'm pretty sure they still say TV series or just series.
I mean, it's weird because I'm not watching it on a TV, and it's not being broadcast, so it's a series, but whatever.
There's only so
It's a
often
TV series that you're watching, not on TV.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
there's only so often that words actually mean what they say.
it was just one of those things that made me stop and think well, wait a minute, is this still? Can I still? It's like using the disc icon to save.
Or recording something on the DVR and saying that you're taping it.
Yeah, I have to do that. We're old.
I don't know. I think people might still say taping it. I'm not sure.
I don't.
You don't think so?
I have not heard people actually say taping it in a while.
Oh no. Oh no! It's just
gone
me!
beyond old.
I'll say it.
I'm the one!
I will sometimes say it reflexively if there actually is an event that I want to record, which has not happened much lately, to be honest.
Yeah, since most things are on demand anyway.
Yeah, or they're streaming. And if they're streaming, then they will be on demand.
It would just sound very silly if you wanted to save a video off of YouTube. Is that I've got to tape this video off of YouTube?
Well, of course, we would probably say download for that. Oh my gosh, I saw this super, super boomery church sign down the street the other day. That was download your worries, get online with God. And they spelled online with a hyphen between on and line. The part that I love the most is the download your worries. I'm I really think you don't know what that word means, senior citizen who made that sign.
So, this has never happened to me, but apparently there are, folded little thingies that look like folded dollar bills. And people leave them as tips.
No, I've seen those before.
And then you open it up, and it's disappointed? Well, maybe instead of money, you need Jesus.
Yeah, it's the edge of it is a $100 bill, and the inside is asking you to give up possessions for God.
Yeah.
And then you leave that as the tip somewhere, and the waiter's $100 tip, and they open it up, and it's this thing, and then they get a $0 tip.
That is such a dick move.
Yeah, it's super.
Yeah, it's literally saying my being an asshole is your problem, and you need to fix it.
I never worked a job where I got tips, so I never had that experience. Well, I mean, okay, no, that's not true. Commissions, I get tips on commissions, but no one's ever slipped me a tract.
No one has ever been like, thanks for the commission, I love it so much, and then they immediately issue you a chargeback.
Well, wow. Okay.
Not if they want to live.
I could. Well, I mean, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna take the high road and not name and shame anybody. But I've had a few chargeback situations, and woo boy, that's one way to steam my vegetables. And
I usually use a pot and water. I didn't know you could do it like that.
I eat them up with pure rage.
It's true. I've seen them. I've seen him. He'll just sit in the kitchen and stare and be like,
they just burst into fire on the counter.
it's awesome.
But yeah, no,
All you gotta do is remind him how long ago the 80s were.
all right. Joker,
Yes.
you don't kick me in the balls, okay? Okay. Look, as long as synthwave is a genre, I can pretend the 80s never ended. Okay, I can pretend.
What joy I have in torturing you.
You're a monster.
I am.
But he's your monster.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that makes it your problem.
Oh.
Stoker gives Jonas the fake bill tip and it says, instead of being like, you need Jesus, it says like, you wanted a real friend? Haha, no, I'm just a monster.
You got the Dragonfire blueprint. That sounds fun.
God, I'm trying to think of... I'm horrible. I'm trying to think of how you would turn this into a penny thing.
What? Specifically?
Singular-minded.
The you thought it was a this, but it's a this. Maybe it would be like her thinking she's found the key. Oh, that'd be so evil.
Put you to the secret underground room.
Oh, I thought Kirby died for a minute there.
There was an arrow pointing down, so I followed it.
Drifter Clops subscribed with Prime for 17 months.
Yay!
And says, get subbed on. I mean, I presume they said it with that exact inflection and tone.
I associate get dunked on now just with Sans pretty much. Like obviously it predates him, but
No way, Jonas. Nobody in the world ever said that before Sans Undertale, and nobody else associates it with him. Yes, those are two completely contradictory statements. I stand behind them both.
He stands behind them both out of shame so that it's hard for you to notice he's associated.
Bold of you to presume I have any shame left at this point.
Tinkachu says emotes question mark.
I like how
I can sit here and harp on it some more. I don't think it's gonna help.
I like how
to make emotes.
you didn't just do a question mark, you actually put the words question mark. That's yeah. It's good.
I mean, could we like take some of Rick's art and like squindingle it into emote form?
I mean, you can do that.
Yeah.
That is something that could happen.
It is possible.
I'll just get Jonas on the squindingling.
All right.
You squindingler.
Well,
Gotta break out the Squing Dingler machine.
Garfy.
it sounds like some weird Willy Wonka thing.
I mean, isn't it?
Apparently. Or,
Oh, it's
or
Elden
like a,
Bridge.
It's nice. Squindingler also could be like a C tier Batman villain.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, Batman, I'm the Squindingler. I'm gonna squindingle all of Gotham.
Still better than Condiment Man.
I can't believe how many times they've brought him back. He started as a joke.
I want to see Nolan versus Condiment Man. Okay, I'm just saying.
God. You know, okay. Since we're on the subject of Batman, I'm not going to do any spoilers for the new movie. Don't worry, that's not where this is going.
Oh, Condiment Man was a Batman villain?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Condiment King...
Oh, I thought I thought that was like a
con-
reference to Ren and Stimpy or something.
No, the Condiment King debuted in an episode of Batman the Animated Series where the Joker was mad because there was this big comedy award show a year ago and he got thrown out when he tried to enter it in disguise because he didn't go through the official registration process and everything. So he, one by one, used stolen technology from the Mad Hatter to make the comedian judge go crazy and become really, really dumb supervillains. And the first one was the Condiment King, who used ketchup and mustard guns.
Oh,
on,
I remember this
people.
guy. Yeah.
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 Good times.
There was another one called the
He had his
Pack
tiny
Rat.
whiteys on the outside.
Yeah. There was another one called the Pack Rat, whose shtick was he only wants to steal stuff that's worthless to other people. And yeah, it was one of the goofier episodes of the animated series. But
Yeah, they feel like they would be right at home in Freakazoid.
Yeah.
yes, very much so.
I mean, I think there was some writer overlap there.
Oh, there was 100% writer overlap. Paul Dini worked on both of them. But, yeah, that's Condiment King. But no, what I was gonna say regarding Batman villains and stuff is that this is perhaps a controversial statement to make. But I'm not afraid of controversy.
Go ahead.
I'm a little bit
Say something so
tired.
controversial and yet so brave.
I'm a little bit tired of them taking every Batman villain and making them super realistic. Taking away all their crazy, gadgets and powers and stuff.
The Penguin's gigantic nose.
Yeah,
And
you
his
know,
gigantic umbrella weapons.
we're at
like-
the point where we need to start moving back to.
Wait, how
Adam
can you
West.
have the Penguin without his nose and without the umbrella? That's not the Penguin anymore.
Okay,
just
so-
Why
waddles.
would he be the Penguin?
He waddles. And he's got a model.
Yeah.
Okay, so the new version of the Penguin, I will say, he does have kind of a penguin-y face. They really made, who is it, Colin Farrell?
Was it Colin Farrell?
Yeah, he's playing the Penguin.
Oh my god, I might
He is
even see this.
completely unrecognizable. He doesn't look like himself, he doesn't sound like himself. The makeup is really good.
Wow.
I'll say that.
Okay, I'm slightly interested now.
But yeah, they don't do anything with the umbrellas. I think there's one scene where he's holding an umbrella, but he's not the only character doing it, and they're in the rain. But but beyond that, no. But he does kind of do a little bit of a waddle at one point. But no, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's this weird dichotomy of comic book fans wanting to be no, it's super serious, but also being kind of embarrassed by how silly it actually is.
Yeah.
And I'm just no, embrace the silliness. Come on. Come on,
Embrace
just
it. Embrace the bird.
It is only once you embrace the cringe that it stops having power over you.
exactly. And I just really
Mostly holds
want to. I just really want to see them pull like a Batman the Animated Series approach, where the villains are all comic book accurate. They have crazy gimmicks and powers. Like, the Joker's not a guy in makeup. He actually somehow got turned into a clown by chemicals. And but Batman still takes everything completely deadly seriously. Like, the whole way through. Like, they can still have it with its noir and horror elements. They can still make it a thriller, but you just have to embrace the fact that the villains are wacky as shit.
No, but what I'm saying
But
is,
that's the thing that makes Batman good, is because, like, you harp that up because Batman is a deranged person, right? Bruce Wayne is a deranged man.
yeah. I was gonna say we need to bring back like the Adam West Batman.
It did that briefly with Batman Brave and the Bold.
I was literally just about to bring that up. I freaking loved Batman the Brave and the Bold.
I didn't like that when I was watching it as a kid.
I didn't like it, and then the episode hit with the Music Meister, and I was hooked.
Oh god, the Music Meister episode is so freaking good! That episode won an Emmy.
I remember, I think the only time I actually watched it on TV was just the episode that was actually about Aquaman going on a road trip.
I love that episode! It's a family road trip, and with his wife and his kid, and she wants it to be family bonding time, so she doesn't want him to do any superheroing, but he keeps sneaking off to do superheroing all throughout the trip.
It's starting to sound like Venture Brothers.
And there's a point where he goes to Gotham because Batman's been captured by the Penguin, funny enough. And they're just... all through the rest of the country, it's been, like, bright and sunshiny and beautiful, and as soon as they cross over into Gotham, it's like all the buildings are black, the sky is red, there's graffiti everywhere.
I love it.
And,
Instant transition.
And in his van, he's like, ha ha, roll up the windows! Because the other great thing about Aquaman in the show is he's voiced by John DiMaggio, who decides to voice him like he's this old hardy sea captain who's always wanting to go on and on about his past adventures. So he's just got this huge personality. It is such a good take on Aquaman.
Aquaman is one of those ideas where, like, in the 50s and 60s, maybe even the 70s, you know, it would be like, okay, he communicates with fish. There we go. He's you know. And then right around the 80s, it's like, hey, he communicates with fish. That's his power.
Well, that's not his only power.
I know, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. You know, like,
the
gimmick doesn't seem strange until the cultural context has changed around it.
It doesn't seem strange until the audience for these books has shifted away from children.
Yeah.
Which, let's be clear, that was the audience in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Like,
hell, that was still the audience in the 70s, you know, really.
Well,
maybe
it started shifting a little bit away, because in the 70s they started getting a little bit back into the noir.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah.
Because they also really wanted to distance themselves from the Adam West version.
God.
Because they were already starting to get embarrassed about that impression.
Oh, hey, DC.
Hey, Judy Winters. Hey, good actor, Batman. Hello.
Yes, we're talking about Batman.
We have this sort of new age of superhero stuff where it's like superheroes in the real world and they're assholes. Right? You have like Watchmen, you have Invincible, you have The Boys.
Yeah.
The Harley Quinn show.
Yeah. Where it's
Well,
like
the Harley
they're in a
Quinn
more
show is
realistic world. They do have powers, but it's like they're not effective, right? They don't do a lot to help anybody or themselves.
I mean,
yeah, and honestly, that also gets a little old sometimes. Like, I appreciate it on a certain level, but also, like, after, like, the 7th iteration of that...
Even the MCU has, like, a couple of instances of, like, you know, oh, so-and-so's just a regular person. You know, just a gritty, realistic adaptation. It's weird. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, when I go into those kinds of movies, I go in, understanding. Okay, yeah, it might not work. Do I give a shit? No, not really.
Oh wow, Rick, you annihilate that boss.
I long ago let go of the whole, okay, it's got to be a perfect adaptation kind of thing, because you're always going to disappoint yourself. I mean, it's never a perfect adaptation. And honestly, some of the ideas that people, hold so cherished might actually need some revision. I'm just saying, not all of them, not always, but sometimes.
How dare you blasphemy, etc., etc., etc. I shake my fist at you, etc., etc.
Kevin Bacon tremors, etc., etc., etc.
There's so much stuff that one could get up in arms about. I mean, how many times have they rebooted the DC universe now? Like 7 or 8.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it's amusing.
I think it's more of
Sometimes they're really good.
I think it's more about pandering at that point, but yeah, I get it. Like we all loved it when it first came out. We all liked the Adam West, and we liked Bruce Wayne of the dark DC comics era, or the animated cartoon. But yeah, the problem I find is that I do think we pandered the companies too much, and they're just like, okay, you want pandering? Here's pandering.
Yeah, it gets a bit much sometimes.
People always say they want pandering. The people never actually want pandering.
Well,
hello, Mythics.
Oh, hey, Myth.
Hi, Mythics.
How you doing, buddy friend? Friend, buddy person? Buddy person, friend, pants?
Well, I mean, how long was how long we had Bruce Wayne as Batman for a long time? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I always enjoyed Bruce Wayne as Batman, but I miss Terry.
Well, they did.
Terry.
They had that one in the 90s with Bane. Spoiler alert, when Bane did the chiropractic on Batman.
He did the chiropractic.
Oh, yes.
I like the way you put
that. For a while, there was another dude named, what was his name again?
Azrael. His name is Azrael.
Yeah, after the Angel of Vengeance.
Like the goat?
No,
that's his
the Angel of Death. The old school.
So like
Azrael.
the goat.
Okay, fine, like the goat.
Azazel was a scapegoat. Different, and also a goetic demon, I think, right, Sophie?
That's complicated.
Okay, fine.
That's too much to get into here.
But yeah.
What was the name of the redheaded girl who was Robin in Dark Knight Rises?
Carrie.
Dark Knight Returns.
Carrie.
Yes.
Carrie something.
Yeah, something like that. Carrie, too young for Bruce, but he still slept with her in the sequel.
Did he?
Did you not know about that?
I never read the sequel.
Well, the sequels are terrible, so.
Could be avoided.
Yeah. The original Dark Knight Returns was written just before Frank Miller started losing his mind.
I love it when the author just goes nuts.
Of course you do. You're already there, Jonas.
Yeah, pretty much.
It makes me sort of glad I missed
the club.
I only really watched
the sequel was God, what all happened in that?
I mean, I know that Batman became president or something like that. Lex
Luthor was
Lex
president.
Luthor became and I mean,
not the last time that would happen. Funny enough,
I've seen pictures
Lex Luthor president.
Scans
yeah, the Robin girl, she became the new Catwoman, and Lex Luthor was president, and Dick Grayson was the new Joker.
Right, and Batman just beat the shit out of everyone by the end.
Yeah, it was knuck and futz.
Good times.
I'll keep my animated series and Dark Batman Beyond. Thank you very much.
Out of all the Batman thingies, I love. Let's see. I mean, I loved the '90s series. I love Batman Beyond.
Yes.
Love Batman Beyond. I like some of the Elseworld stories. I thought those were kind of interesting. I'm real big on what if kind of stuff. I did not like the one Batman show by the Jackie Chan Adventures guy because I don't like his style.
That one was also just called The Batman.
Yeah, that annoyed me.
But Jonas, the version of Batman fought Dracula.
So
He's
Rick,
the Bat.
just as a real quick heads up, there's a mission for this next fight where you don't take any damage.
Oh boy.
You know, they keep talking about wanting to do a Batman Beyond movie with Michael Keaton as old Bruce Wayne, right?
I'm okay with that. I
I would
mean,
love that. Michael Keaton as old Bruce Wayne, and I don't know who would be Terry.
Keanu. No, it would be Keanu. It would have been Keanu in the 90s, but
What wouldn't have been Michael Keaton as old man Bruce in the 90s?
okay.
Oh my gosh, what if it had been Adam West, though?
That would have been amazing.
Was the Batman the one with the really weird Joker design?
Yes.
The Batman had weird character designs for everyone.
That's the one that had the Jamaican Joker.
Yeah, the Jamoker.
What
He
if
had like big
Blanca?
green dreads. He was going around footless, and yeah, he had like a Jamaican accent.
Footless. I think you mean shoeless.
Shoeless.
What if-
Sorry.
What if Blanca became a Joker?
Yeah, he was like that, and God, what were some of the other unusual design choices? The Riddler was Marilyn Manson.
Really? Like, you mean
Look at-
actually Marilyn
No,
Manson?
no, he looked like Marilyn
Oh, he
Manson.
looked-
He was
'cause-
voiced by Robert Englund.
See, I'm picturing like, really, there's Batman.
Yeah, that's look it up, Jonas.
It's a really low-key delivery on the Riddler.
Just look it up. And yeah, like I said, his voice was Robert Englund, so he
God
looked
damn it.
like Marilyn Manson, and he was voiced by Freddy Krueger.
I want actual Marilyn Manson as the Riddler, though.
Oh, I didn't know Robert Englund voiced him. Wow.
Riddle me this, riddle me that.
I thought he only did it for the
Honestly,
Scarecrow.
before I found the animated series, that was like my first exposure to the Batman property was that show. I actually liked that a lot, and also it was weird for a while because I thought that's just how the Joker was. I'm just like, he's like a clown, okay.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I mean, he is like a clown.
and I'm just
but-
like, okay.
Obviously,
Yeah,
my
it's-
first... Go ahead.
Oh no, you.
Well, obviously, my first exposure to Batman was the 60s series, which was playing in reruns on, I think, Channel 20 when I was growing up. And
Oh, is there a switch back here that doesn't?
And then I watched animated series, and I'm like, Luke Skywalker.
okay.
What?
Luke Skywalker.
I didn't know it
Everyone-
was him at first. Wow.
Everyone always gets so surprised by that the first time.
the Clown Prince of Crime.
Oh, geez, yeah. Robert
He would
Englund was
never
the
do that
Riddler.
voice again because he was doing method acting for it, and it like was kind of hacking him up. But I think he's sort of let go of that recently.
No, I mean the thing is he's claimed to retire from that part like 20 times,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Hayao Miyazaki.
and he keeps coming back to it. It's just that now he's a lot more hoarse than he used to be.
Yeah, now the Joker's kind of down here, but
Which works when he came back in the Batman Beyond one.
yeah, as far
yeah.
as I'm concerned, he's still the gold standard in my head. You know?
He really is. Like,
I mean-
nobody's ever been as good in that part to me.
the raspiness only adds to the performance.
One thing I
And he's
also
still got
add-
that manic voice for the laugh.
Balloon Meister loves to do tricks. No one knows where it learned them. Perhaps it's hereditary? Whatever it is, the tricks are fun. Just don't let the ball touch you. Try to inhale it, get the bomb ability. Hey, wait, where did it get that ball?
His tricks
Where
are-
did it get that ball?
His tricks are based on evolved instincts of the species.
One small detail I really liked about Mark Hamill when he played the Joker Returns. When he said McGinnis, I could tell the threatening tone he had in there. It was really good. Even though he had no clue who McGinnis was, he was like, I want this punk out of my life. He's trying to pretend he's the new Batman. Well, I'm going to kill this McGinnis boy. Come on, McGinnis. Show me what you really got. It's like,
An
yeah.
unexpected Beast King. Oh, who could it be?
Who could it be?
Who could it be?
Could it be
Who
now?
could it
Who
be?
could it be? Okay.
Anyway.
Um,
What I'm trying to get at in a very roundabout way is that I just really, 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 really want, like, an actual comic book style Joker again.
yeah, sure.
If they're gonna insist on constantly doing the Joker over and over again, and we know that they are, like, you just can't avoid that when you're doing Batman, then it's time to stop shying away from it and go all in.
Well, okay. I have a little pet theory as to why there's been so much reinvention of the Batman villains, like more than other franchises. I think, and again, this is only a theory, and feel free to like cut
Sure
me
thing.
down.
Game theory. Sorry, go on.
You're wrong, Jonas.
Oh.
You're right, Jonas.
Now, I think it has to do with like merchandising and corporate thing, because I've wondered if maybe the issue is that if they think the villains are too similar in too many iterations, it decreases interest in like the marketing stuff and like the toy stuff and the like, oh, this is exactly the same toy we had on the shelves last quarter. Who's going to buy it? Nobody, and they're just assuming this. So they're like, okay, let's reinvent Joker again and again and again.
Well, there's your first problem. The suits are in the creative room.
Yeah.
Suits need to get out of the creative room.
Well, I mean, sure, but
Oh, these item shop.
I mean, it didn't stop Optimus Prime. Oh, yes, it did. They keep up the culture quite you like. The
Transformers movie. Well, never mind. That's I don't want to get on that tangent.
Okay.
That was one where I was for the first and second movies. I was really annoyed at all the revisionism, and then I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm just gonna like turn my brain off and not worry about it. And I never saw like how many are there now? 6. I never saw the later ones with like Marky Mark or whatever.
You mean live
I
action?
understand you weren't missing anything.
Yeah.
You mean the live action movies?
Yeah, I mean, the first one.
Yeah, the
was
Michael
cool.
Bay ones.
Yeah. I only saw the first 2, and that was
Okay.
it. I couldn't take it.
See, like,
This is a
20
very
years
silly
ago-
ability.
Okay.
Wow, you can.
And then you can knock them around.
That's probably going to be really useful at some point. Like,
Well,
you need
it
to
does
push the
immediately
ice
increase the utility of the ice ability because it's been kind of short range and a little underwhelming in points. But if you could just immediately make projectiles with that increases its utility a lot.
bump.
For a minute there, I thought you froze the health bar of Mr. Sandbag for a minute. That would have been nice.
Mr. Sandbag.
I was thinking
Send
it.
me a bag. Send me. Okay.
Make him the cutest hand-car door who can.
Mr. Sandman. Sand?
Sand.
Oh.
Hey, my baby. Brush your teeth. It's bedtime.
La 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 la.
I still can't believe they got rid of that line and punch out. That was awesome. Hey, let's give this guy a whole bunch of
See, you want to switch to something? You have a drill.
let's give this guy a whole bunch of bedtime jokes. He's not scary at all. He's just gonna knock your lights out. It's just fun. It's funny.
It is funny.
Like this way or that way? Nope. Gonna skate right up.
Man, they had a lot of good lines for Punch Up back then. They still do now.
What is
actually.
that? Who
Is
could
it-
that be?
Oh
Is it
no,
DVD?
not Wallaby.
Guys, did you have to go native quite so quickly? Like, it'd been like 10 seconds after we arrived.
Oh no, it's
Gasp! The ultimate plot twist! King Dedede is a boss in a Kirby game!
his royal nemesis.
And they have these evolved woofers.
My elite guard.
when I did the when I did the blue bird picture
Ow.
on Twitter, a bunch of folks gave me a hard time about making DDD tiny, and like,
He's
what is
been very short.
well, like, what is my point of reference? I don't even know how big he is right now. How tall is Kirby? You know,
Kirby's also very short.
Kirby is 30 feet tall.
The only point of reference I can think of would be Smash Brothers, and even
Which
then, yeah,
plays with it a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
See Ridley.
yeah.
What did that noise?
he is like, yeah, even in that DDD, he's like 3 feet tall or something.
I mean, isn't there one game where like Kraid and Ridley are like kaiju sized?
You know, one thing that that bothers me about King DDD, what exactly does he
think
have?
that's happened in Kirby. I know it's happened in Mario.
Yeah.
No, this has been a game where DDD became like giant.
Thing
Well,
that,
no, I was talking about Kraid and Ridley. Like, GC, there's one game where Kraid and Ridley are huge, right?
Kraid is normally huge. It was only in the very first, like, the NES Metroid that they were tiny because just the size of the screen.
he was small in the first one. He was huge in this in Super Metroid, and well, there's a third time, but I don't know if I should mention it. It's actually Metroid
Dread.
Metroid Dread. Yeah.
Right, yeah. I don't know if that's a spoiler at this point.
I don't think it is. It's been out since October now, so yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody knows. Yes, everybody, Kraid's in Dread. Yes.
Well, I mean, of course he's in Dread. I mean,
Well-
are there?
The thing is though, like Kraid really wasn't in
When
much.
did DDD get this strong?
He's full of penguin rage.
It was pretty much nothing but Ridley before Kraid showed up finally.
Oh no, he's got Hoarfrost strong.
Speaking of what I was going to say,
I was gonna say this environment is making me very much think of Elden Ring.
what does DDD have in terms of power that gives him one up against Kirby? I find, even though he just pretty much he's just another Bowser. I find.
He's what?
I feel like he's like another he's just a Kirby Bowser version, and I don't know.
He does have that whole like kind of.
He got the jump.
Yeah.
He got the weight.
He's sort of He's got that like heavy set kind of thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he does have kind of an arch nemesis vibe, doesn't he?
One thing he does pick. Well, as Rick just mentioned it, he does pick up a big. He got the big stick.
He does. He has a very big stick.
But he just feels like another Bowser. Don't shoot me on that one.
I mean, he's completely different from Bowser because in most Kirby games, like he was the villain in the first Kirby game, and then in the second Kirby game, you beat him, and then it turns out there was another more evil villain instead of him, and he was actually trying to help, and that holds true in like 90% of Kirby games.
Yeah, other than the very first one, he's usually either trying to protect something or he's possessed if you're fighting him.
See, bomb. That sounds nice.
That's nice.
Clear without guarding. Oh yeah, I can do that.
It just feels like DD's answer to Kirby in terms of beating him is, well, he got all these cool powers.
Now,
I got.
now watch the background here.
Yeah.
What's he doing? Is he just?
He just
Whoa! What's he doing?
he's holding up one of the cages.
Good one.
Hey, you're not allowed to do that during the clear screen.
It's like maybe you shouldn't have been standing there celebrating your triumph. Wow, he's a bird getting carried up by birds.
I know,
yeah,
it's a little
penguins can't
guy
fly.
who
This
is
bird-on-bird
of
violence.
very little utility, but still, he was cute. So
And now he's gone, and so is his helpful advice.
Oh no, whatever will we do without it?
Why are they gonna do that to the?
TDD is what if Bowser moved on with his life.
it's a very far way away.
Original.
Original. Alpha Land will be captured by King Day today. Explore the next area and save Alpha Land.
Do we have to? Yes.
Apparently.
Yes,
Place
it's
where
required by
life
the
began.
plot.
And can we, which is the DDD?
Yeah, unfortunately, this speedrun category requires that we rescue him.
Let's let DDD rule his life as a victor for this one time.
I like the car. Horses.
Yum. Just running things over, I see. Murderous rampage on a car. Kirby.
Is that your final opinion on the matter?
Yes. At least until I have
Thank you
another
for your
one.
dissertation, Dr. Stoker.
You're welcome.
Used to be Final Fantasy 6 picks was just a few hours ago, and when I started having this conversation, we were talking about DC heroes. Suddenly, it just coming on over my head. What if Kefka was a superhero?
What if
I
who
mean-
was?
Kefka?
Yeah,
I mean,
Kefka.
just out of nowhere.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's basically already the Joker.
Oh, what was that Batman hero that looked kind of like the Joker, but he was like a wild man or something?
The Creeper?
The Creeper.
The Creeper. Maybe kind of like that.
When they did it in Batman the Animated Series, they absolutely lampshaded the fact that the Joker and the Creeper are similar.
Oh yeah. I mean, they literally had his origin story take place almost the same way that the Joker's did.
Right. And he was, at the end of the episode, he was just harassing the Joker, and the Joker was like, "Lock me up! Just take me away from him!" You know, it was.
He was like, "This guy's a lunatic."
It was good.
He was really mad initially that the Creeper was stealing his act. There was
Rick,
this
you can
one
go fishing.
episode.
Sorry?
Oh, sorry, I thought I was interrupting something. Was I?
No, I just
I don't know, were you?
Okay. There was this one episode of The Batman, the cartoon that some people liked and some people did not like, where the Joker decided to start dressing up as Batman and fighting crime. But he did it. First of all, the kinds of crime that he was fighting was like jaywalkers and people checking out in the express lane with 11 items and such. And he was sending the city. He sent the city a bill for everything. He wanted like $1 million or something like that. And like
he was still like his design too, just with the Batman outfit. So he like wearing no shoes. You could still see his gigantic dreads.
And at one point he tries to bring in the Penguin, who's voiced by Tom Kenny in this version. Funny enough. And he tries to bring in the Penguin, or like attacks him in the middle of something, and the Penguin's like, "Hey, do I interrupt you when you're in the middle of your schemes? It's called professional courtesy." It's funny because the Penguin design actually was pretty close to the Tim Burton-y one. It was closer to a pre-existing design than most of the others. They went really off book with some of those character designs. Guys, I think my actual first exposure to to Batman was in these. There were these like super cheap, really old, low budget cartoons that I think they're older than I am, but like we rented them. My parents rented them on VHS or something like that. And I can't even think of who was in them. I think it was like an Adam West impersonator doing the voice of Batman, kind of like the voice he had in the Super Friends cartoons.
Yeah.
And I think they had freaking like Larry Storch as the Joker.
That's so amazing. I was aware of the comics, but I definitely saw the show first. Like I remember seeing the show when I was like single digits, you know. And I don't think I actually read any of the comics until I was probably about 10 or 11.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
Barely had any
think
comics where I was at.
Going for an older audience for those anyway, so.
Did any of you have like a fun local comic book store growing up?
Sorry, I didn't.
No, only angry ones.
I mean,
We had needs. We had needs. That was it.
No, around here we just had like game store shops with the D&D and Magic the Gathering type of stuff.
Wait, Rick, what do you mean by? I mean, do you like work at a comic store or something?
No, I mean, several comic stores are known for being like full of angry people who are annoyed that you would dare want to actually buy something from their store. Because they started operating comic book stores, not because they wanted to run a business or anything, but because they just wanted an excuse to play Dungeons and Dragons all day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they wanted a clubhouse.
Oh my god. Okay.
No.
Not inaccurate.
Okay, the one in my neighborhood, my old neighborhood, the guy prevented that by just not having any tables. Like that was his way of. I mean, you still saw those folks like lingering on the shelves, but like, if they didn't have anywhere to sit down and do their tabletop, then that was that. But there were other shops that definitely had those kind of folks, and I don't begrudge. I'm not gonna like begrudge them as long their whole shtick, as long as they don't get on my case about it. But yeah, I've seen that.
I'll begrudge them. They can't hear me. Y'all are jerks.
The one in my neighborhood.
Come on, Twitch, and fight me.
There is a guy behind the counter, kind of a big guy. His name was Doe. I think it was. I don't know if it was short for like Douglas or what, but we all just called him Doe. And he would do shit like this is the 90s, so like Counting Crows, Mr. Jones would come on the radio. He'd start like he'd get out from behind the counter, and start dancing and thrashing like a mosh pit. It was amazing.
That's hilarious.
Like Mr. Jones and me, and it was like we're all just standing there staring. Also, he totally looked the other way while I read like hentai and stuff at age 14. Like he did not give a shit what any of us read. No, I'm serious. Like he the Japanese comics
tells all.
The manga were selling pretty well. Don't know why. Back in the day, probably because it was infinitely more lurid than American comics at that point. And he just put him on the front. And when he realized that, he just started putting him on the front rack. Not the front, not the front facing.
So he put the racks on the front rack.
Okay, no. It was like there was a front rack, and like it faced the window. And on the outward facing side, he put like Archie and shit like that. On the inside of the front rack, as close to the entrance as possible, he'd put like Crying Freeman and Fist of the North Star and stuff like that.
Okay, well those aren't hentai though.
Well, no. Crying Freeman was pretty raunchy.
But I know it had like a lot of like it's like these characters are naked, but it's not hentai exactly.
Okay. Again, this was the 90s. Okay, this is
I was sort of expecting a Sailor Moon joke in there, but go ahead.
I don't think the Sailor Moon comic had been localized yet. This was
No, it
like
hadn't.
this was like 92. I think Sailor Moon was like 94. Anyway, I mean, you could get him at conventions, but yeah, no, he would absolutely just stock like the really like the sexy stuff right there. Like all you had to do was make a left once you walked in, and it was right there. And yeah, good times. I felt like I was getting away with a crime or something. I was like,
You were, Jonas. The cops are listening. They're coming for you right now.
Thank you. Yeah, the manga cops.
Manga cops.
But yeah,
How dare you read Berserker without first reading something else?
Okay, let me put it this way: it would be considered mature readers now. It definitely, it's
Yeah, there basically were no safeguards for that in the 90s because nobody really knew about it that much.
I mean, even by the time it started becoming more well known, like frickin' Barnes and Noble and Books A Million and places like that, when they started carrying stuff like that, you could still get into it in the shelves.
oh my god!
I got a great deal of education that way.
Well, yeah.
Because Lord knows I didn't get any from my parents.
I mean, there was like, I'm trying to think.
Many questions have been answered today.
There was one comic shop that had like a proper adult section, which was like you went through a pair of saloon-style doors to the very small back room, which it looked super shady.
Was there a cowboy back there? Yes, no, maybe.
Nice. And I don't know, American indie sexy comics were kind of dumb back then, I guess.
Oh, they're probably still kind of dumb.
Well, no, I mean, nowadays you've got quality stuff, where the production quality is good and the stories are, you've got some interesting ones. Back then it was just like, I don't know how to describe it. It was very underground indie and kind of like they weren't really, it was kind of poorly drawn, I mean, you had some exceptions, like Omaha was pretty decently drawn. But I remember a lot of like 90s adult stuff that was just ugh,
Hey Jonas, how many people in this chat do you suppose have never even heard of Omaha?
I don't know. Hey folks in the chat, how many of you have heard of Omaha the Cat Dancer? Actually, Miller, have you ever heard of Omaha Ray, Miller, have you ever heard of it?
Nope.
There's just the faintest glimmer of a thought way back in the back of my head. It's like that name is familiar.
GC, do you know what we speak?
No, not the moment.
Omaha the Cat Dancer.
Omaha the Cat Dancer.
Okay, let's put this another way. Has anyone ever heard of the comic book Legal Defense Fund?
And that's not a comic book called the Legal Defense Fund. That was an actual legal defense fund for comic book creators.
Yeah. Do y'all know of it?
No.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, I'm searching FA, and yeah, okay, I have heard of this. I was not around for this.
Yeah. So,
these are the ancient texts from the before time.
Yes.
So you want to tell us?
They very much are. Okay, so the first thing to know is the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, as I mentioned, is or as Jonas mentioned, is a legal defense fund for comic book creators, writers, artists, etc. Mostly for indie ones to protect them from lawsuits, censorship, all that kind of stuff. And the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund largely exists because of Omaha the Cat Dancer, which is this furry erotic comic that was a furry erotic comic before the concept of furry erotic comic was a thing.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it made so much history simply for existing. And it exists because many parents were angry that there was a book with animal people acting sexy because they were like, the children!
Yeah.
Because,
I want my cat people to be innocent. Okay, now I see where we're going with this.
there's no... Because Omaha, the title character, the cat dancer, is by trade an exotic dancer.
Yeah, yeah.
As you probably could have guessed.
It was so lurid back then. Now it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's like really tame soap opera with like some tits and sex scenes. That's really what it is these days. It
Sounds
would
so
not...
tame.
And
What
they weren't
was-
even like, it wasn't even like weird sex. It was just like vanilla missionary kind of stuff for the most part. I think there was like a couple lesbian scenes.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had some queer characters, which was also like groundbreaking at the time. What's funny is you can get like collected volumes of these, and like Volume 1 has an introduction by Neil Gaiman.
I mean, bear in mind that this was like the Reagan Bush era, and like, you know, everybody was just, you know, I mean, it had only been like a few years since the whole D&D Satanic Panic thing. People were seeing. Go ahead, sorry.
Was that like the same era as like the cat, Gray Cat?
Oh, you're thinking of Fritz the cat.
Yeah.
No, Fritz was
No,
Fritz
it was
was like-
70s.
yeah, Fritz was Robert Crumb. That was like Soga said, it was the 70s.
No, that was earlier.
Was it 60s?
No, it was no. Well, okay, I don't know when he started doing the comics. I know the movie was 70s.
Prior to furry fandom becoming its own thing, furries. I mean, okay, let me put this in context. Adult furry stories were considered the part of the underground umbrella, and underground also included stuff like.
Underground was basically anything that didn't follow comics code.
Right. Yeah. the all powerful comics code. So stupid.
That used to be such a powerful force.
But yeah, Omaha.
Does Naked Penny follow the?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Nah, but yeah, the defense fund was a thing, you know, organized specifically to basically fund the legal costs of the ridiculous trial that happened for that poor comic book shop owner. Ridiculous. And,
Oh yeah, shit was crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, those who don't know I should check it out. It's. I mean, like we've said, it's really tame now, but it's sort of paved the way for a lot of the stuff, and nobody even realizes it now. You know what I mean? Nobody knows it anymore.
Well, we're not taught this part of history at school.
We're not taught this in furry class.
Despite its foundational sort of consequences.
Yeah,
I mean, for this crowd, yeah, very much so.
I mean, basically,
Very much.
Between like Reed Waller and like Steve Galacci,
Who, incidentally, Reed Waller is the creator of Omaha the Cat Dancer.
right? Yeah, Reed Waller and Kate Worley. Reed's still around, Kate's not.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, him and Galacci and like Stan Sakai, basically. Him, Galacci, Stan Sakai, and like who else?
Peter Laird and
Peter Laird.
frick, what was the name of the
Kevin
other
Turney.
Turtles guy?
Oh,
Kevin Eastman.
Kevin Eastman.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
You know,
Those
even
guys.
Mike Kazala was
Mike
around
Kazala,
before
yeah.
the furry scene coalesced into being the furry scene.
I hung out with Mike.
Yeah, and in case you weren't aware, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was part of that pre-furry thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles technically was like part of the proto-furry revolution.
Yep. It was super indie once upon a time.
Yeah, wasn't that one of the things where it was also like a much more adult series? Like,
It was. It started out as a parody of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes, it did.
and it
Oh,
was
did
very,
I know?
Isn't it like
was like-
canon that they both Daredevil and the Turtles fell into the same goo?
is it?
I'm not sure.
Gotta watch out what you fall into.
Yeah, you could come out as like a thingy.
A thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't
You
want
know,
to
I
come out as
remember-
a thingy.
I remember seeing this one post that was like, if I knew nothing about comic books at all, and you told me that there was like one superhero who has no powers, but he dresses up and like does all these dangerous flying leaps off of rooftops and stuff, and there's another one who's blind and he sees through echolocation, and one of them's named Daredevil and one of them's named Batman, I would punch you if you told me which one was which.
I can jump on the turtles again. I miss them.
Well, they missed you too.
It's true.
Michelangelo. I missed you too, buddy.
You know, I know there have been a bunch of movies since the 80s ones, and I'm sure they're very good. Or probably some of them are. But I think I'll always treasure the ones with, you know, the ones where it was like Henson's Creature Shop, just because, you know, no CGI, no fancy effects, just straight up craft, you know.
Yeah, that was.
There's a charm to them. At least the first two.
I do kind of like the third one. I mean, it's schlock, you know, sure, but you don't watch Ninja Turtles movies for like the intense cerebral content.
Maybe you don't. I'm different.
First one I did. But my the costumes. It was the I like the first movie was just such a shift in tone compared to the cartoon. I was like, wow, they really did that to Raphael. They did him dirty.
You think so?
And I'm talking about the 1987 movie.
They did Raphael dirty. You can read all about it in his tell-all memoir.
I remember. I don't remember. Maybe it was like when Usenet was still a thing. Somebody did like a breakdown of the movie, and like they were really annoyed that Raphael used the sai as a stabbing weapon, because sais are not actually stabbing weapons. They're like deflecting weapons.
Yeah,
like
they're sword catchers.
Right. Yeah.
They're parrying daggers. They're Eastern parrying daggers.
Dodge, turn, parry, thrust, spin.
Ha! Dodge, turn, thrust. But yeah, it's like they're.
I mean, it's still got a pointy end. You know, if it was the only weapon you had, you could still, you know, shove it into somebody's gut, but it would absolutely not be a weapon of choice.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's like, bro, they're mutant turtles. Okay, they're gonna. I mean, who gives a shit?
Well, apparently some people do, Jonas.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody.
Some people care a lot.
This is what happens when analytical minds like don't have enough to do. I mean,
They latch onto the wrong thing.
Funny enough, Raphael uses the sais mostly to throw and disarm people when it comes to fighting. So it is actually very funny that he does it that way. But yeah.
But I mean, even I've been guilty of that. I've absolutely fallen into that trap. It's just too easy. It's too easy to like devote. When you have analytical brain, it's easy to take, you know, to take the amount of analysis you'd apply to like a math problem and then just like impose it on a fictional world or a character, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can actually glean useful stuff out of that, but just as easily you can get in like ridiculous arguments, you know.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
Arcus Valley says everything is a stabbing weapon if you're not a coward. You know, my brother and I would have conversations like, how did you turn a paper airplane into a death instrument, you know?
that seems like the kind of conversation that brothers should have.
I'm gonna turn this cork into a deadly ninja bait.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I think his answer, like very frequently, his answer would either be to sharpen it or to launch it at high velocity.
Well, I mean that's
usually the answer, isn't it?
I remember in the X-Men cartoon, they got away with Wolverine not stabbing someone for so long just by having him shred Sentinels. That was sad.
I always thought that was weird how Wolverine has like lethal.
Oh, it's so pretty.
foot-long lethal cutting blades made out of like an alloy that's harder than diamond or whatever. And like, he barely actually uses his claws on people. Obviously, it's ratings, but
Yeah.
Well, in the cartoon.
In the
he
cartoon,
barely
then the
uses
movies came along. Yeah.
Of course, he almost killed that one time. He almost killed Gambit, but that was like a one heck of a what was it? Red herring when every time that he was about to kill someone. Oh no, we can't let him do that. Get him off the screen. Shoot him off the screen. Yeah. They loved doing that in the cartoon. What is it? I think of all sorts of moments of cartoons where they was clearly saw a moment where they could have killed someone. They didn't do it, but they had characters that clearly could have done it. You're like, do something, do something bloodthirsty. I don't know.
DC demands the gore.
Well, that purple goop in the pool.
I'm sorry. Oh, you're
We're all
talking
just
about
like,
the
what are you
game.
waiting for? And GC's like, I don't know, something bloodthirsty, I guess.
I'm picturing him with like the same happy cat face that's on his icon.
That's the other weird thing about superheroes. Like, yeah, that's a nice story. Took me a second. But the weird thing about superheroes, like, and they've sort of played with this, is that in a realistic combat situation, somebody with that much power would be like pulping the other guys.
Mhm.
And that's what Invincible's
Right,
thing
exactly,
is.
yeah.
It's like, that's literally the inciting incident in that show, is that one of the superheroes accidentally, their like Flash equivalent, accidentally runs into the main character's girlfriend, and she just turns into goop.
Yeah. I mean, they sidestep it with like Batman because he won't kill. Also, he doesn't have any powers, and they've sidestepped with Superman by making him the nicest farm boy ever. But
Except those times when he's not.
yeah,
And they set off new universes.
except where he's like, he lands in Russia and becomes like a bullshit whatever.
Oh yeah, that Red Sun, right.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But no, it's odd. I mean, I guess you can you can have a certain amount of leeway by saying, oh, they're good, they're moral, their code restricts it. But I mean, even then, it's like in a realistic world, how long can you keep that up? Honestly.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if you want that to be realistic, then you take some of the fun out of it.
That's true.
Like, that's my problem with Zack Snyder's version.
That's true. Well, I mean, okay. The thing is Zack Snyder's version really realistic though?
Well, no, but I mean, it's realistic according to his worldview. Yeah, IMHO.
Fair. That's fair.
IMHO, TBH, WTF, BBQ.
They did do a really good take of that with Batman under the Red Hood. Like, really
Oh, I
trying to-
did love Under the Red Hood.
Still need to watch that. I know what that one's about, but I haven't actually seen it. Man, this is a persistent grape. Or whatever.
I'm sorry.
Look at this thing that's trying to, like, barf
Yeah,
up.
I see, but I was picturing, like, when you said that, I was picturing grape house pets.
Yeah, me too. I was just like, what, like she never dies or something?
Is that like Sam's Undertale? Grape House Pets?
Yes.
Grape and Peanut House Pets? That's their last name.
Yes.
They have
That's
actual
fair.
last names, but their actual last name is House Pets.
Yes.
Just like the comic. Everybody's last name is the front page of a comic. Didn't you know
For
that?
tax purposes, they're known as Grape Peanuts House Pets.
Just like how the RGs are Archie.
Archie, and Mario.
Rick filing out his taxes, and he's got all like 100, 200 dependents.
Yeah, I remember the other day I was talking about how comparing the house pet characters to Archie, but then I realized Who would I compare Jughead to? I never really found somebody to compare Jughead to.
Jughead is indivisible. He cannot be added to the equation. It would cause
He's indivisible with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
Closest thing would be Bino, but he's a jerk.
Well, Jughead is capable of being a jerk.
But not Bino level of jerk.
No, not Bino level, but few are Bino level.
Buzzsaw Cutter. Sweet.
No, Mino's problem is that he's often willfully malicious.
Hilariously, if that was the case, if Bino was Jughead, that'd make Sasha and Midge, but no, that Sasha and Midge don't get, they're not on the same level, I don't find.
GC's trying to find the perfect function that completely maps house pets to Archie.
Yes, I am.
Careful.
And who can
Rick's
blame
like,
him?
don't. If you do, you'll figure out the secret formula from my comics.
That was madness.
I like
Here's one.
madness.
Here's one. Can you map house pets to like one of the classic pantheons, like your Greek gods?
If only I...
It's the god of artists.
Everybody's thinking about it now.
Good request. Sounds like a little Jughead.
I don't know. Bailey's the god of fertility, I guess.
Ooh,
Nice.
you've got my interest.
Actually, I don't remember who did I compare Bailey to initially in the house pet room before she started dating King. Shoot, what was it? Was it
Wait,
one of those Christmas special characters? What it was?
You know, it's Hoogie Flugen.
Yeah, Hoog.
Oh, I have to think about it.
Good old cactus corn.
Yeah, cactus corn.
Cactus corn.
That's where corn comes from.
It's true.
Man, I haven't eaten cactus in forever.
Me too, because I've never had it.
You ever had cactus?
I'm not impressed by cactus. It's kind of slimy.
Yeah.
And I like
when it's
okra.
I like okra when it's fried. I love
think
fried
Yes.
okra.
I can't believe I'm-
I just had some today.
Nice.
I'm actually pulling out my old Archie comics right now as we talk. I can't believe this. The ones I bought from 1990. Wow. Jeez.
Only 90s kids remember.
You know, my mom's got boxes of my old comics, and I'm probably going to visit her this year. So, because they're about to move, and I really need to go through them and see if anything's worth keeping, along with like video cassettes. But like, I probably have some old school furry stuff, and possibly like TMNT, Usagi, stuff like that. In fact, I'm pretty sure I do. I don't know what state they're in because they've been in a closet in the desert for years and years.
I mean, knowing you, Jonas, they're probably in California.
All right.
You know what? Actually, there's something I want to bring up. The old Archie ads. There's one here with the Sugar Crisp cereal, and I swear he beat up one of the other ones in here.
Yeah.
Which was actually very surprising back then. Let's see here.
Ah, here we go.
Oh, look at this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures. And that was a squirrel... A squirrel splinter. Yes, that's right. Can't forget
Clean
that.
the grape.
So you hear that disc? Splinter was a squirrel once.
You know, it's weird. Like, with Splinter, it's like, was he a rat who got mutated into a human, or a human that got turned into a rat? Because I've seen different versions.
It depends
That's
on the iteration.
It's mostly a human turned rat. Mostly. But I think recently they've been trying to get away from that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think a usual part of his backstory is that he was like his master was killed by Shredder,
Right.
and the only way for him to have had a master is human.
Of course, the
Well,
weird thing is-
that's not necessarily the only way.
As
Kids
I
are
was saying-
real kinky.
So, yeah, does make the thing a little bit easier because it's just like, oh, you know, Splinter taught the turtles everything they know. It's just like, well, hold on, if Splinter started as a rat, who taught him everything he knows? And then it's like a chicken and the egg kind of thing.
He was watching.
If you say he starts as a human, then it makes a little more sense.
Well, in the movie, he was watching his master from the cage and mimicking the movements of the little rat in the cage.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
See,
I
I'd like to see
remember
that
that.
one.
oh, well,
I remember
yeah,
that.
I remember that, but the thing was, like, the comics do tell you, but the other iteration where he's like, he was always a rat, that he was smart enough to understand what he was doing, but he couldn't do it until the mutation came in. So then all the information flooded into his brain, and now he all of a sudden knew how to do kung fu. Let's put it that way.
You're saying he was one of the rats of Nim.
You
Yes.
know, I was thinking that too. Oh, that's a crossover right there. Oh shit.
Jonas, did you just give yourself an idea?
God, someone needs to write that fic. Rats of Nim, Ninja Turtles crossover.
Rats of Ninja.
Rats of Ninja.
Well, that's what the N
Of
in
ninjas and
stands
Nim.
Look,
Ninja.
you can't tell me you wouldn't pay $2.95 for a comic book where like the Ninja Turtles are trying to stop Shredder from getting the Rats of Nim and mutating them.
I can see it. Oh,
That's
really?
like an IDW crossover right there. You know, they're the ones who did like Ghostbusters and Men in Black, right?
Why not?
Or like My Little Pony and Transformers or whatever.
Oh, wow, they got Super Nintendo advertisements in this book. Wow.
GC is just having a fun little romp down memory lane right now.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm pretty much a nostalgic king, honestly.
Tempo Tempest says live action Disney Robin Hood. Stop. Bite your tongue.
Jonas, that's already in the pipeline.
Shut up.
It's gonna be on Disney Plus.
No.
Oh,
They're
okay.
still gonna have them as animals, animal people, but we don't know how they're gonna do that visually.
See, the only way I would accept this is if it was done by Wes Anderson.
Exceptionally well. Okay, yeah, that too. I was gonna say exceptional CGI budget, but I will take a Wes Anderson Robin Hood.
Archie, how did you get in touch with
Now I'm
an
upset that we're
form?
probably not going to get a Wes Anderson Robin Hood.
Come on. That would be
They're like,
too
Wes
cool,
Anderson,
that
you
stuff.
make the good Fox movie, you make another one. Here's the budget.
Now, you know what would happen? They'd be
Did you
like,
see the College Humor Fantastic Mr. Star Fox?
no.
Oh my
God
gosh,
damn it.
no! But I
It
love
was
this.
amazing.
All right, I'm googling this. I'm
And
gonna,
Owen Wilson as Falco. Hey Einstein, I'm
All right,
on
I've-
your side.
I've queued that up. I've queued that up as soon as the stream's over. That's amazing. But yeah, what they would do is they'd bring on Wes Anderson, and then he'd be like, "This is my vision," and Disney would be like, "Screw you, you're fired. We're bringing on another director. We're bringing on Peyton Reed."
Yeah, and then they bring in Michael Bay, and
yeah,
everyone
oh.
cries.
And it's like, and they only reshoot half of it, so it's this weird mishmash of style.
You can just say you're talking about Ant-Man, Jonas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Like, you can just straight up say that.
I'm
you're
laughing
talking about Ant-Man and Edgar Wright. You can just say that.
I'm laughing at the Hollywood machine so I don't cry.
Ooh, there's lots of factors.
Disney's live action adaptation of Penny.
I mean, listen, you find me an actress for that, and
Who would be your dream actress for that?
the list is not short.
You know, I probably
You know,
I
I've thought
say-
about that.
Can I say what I would imagine actually would be kind of work with that?
What?
Be like Miley Cyrus in her heyday, like when she was younger.
Like, well, not too much younger, please, but
in my head.
What I mean is not current, like pixie haircut punk Miley Cyrus. I mean like Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus.
God.
I mean, the thing about it is that, like, she would do it in a heartbeat, is the thing.
God. You know that. Wow, I could see it. That's wow.
Have we broken your brain, Jonas? Did,
Well, I mean,
did Miller
prior-
break your brain?
Prior to this, I always imagined like Alicia Silverstone from Clueless as Penny, but
I mean, I would happily have watched Alicia Silverstone play this part.
well, I mean her voice, you know, the kind of voice.
Yeah, that's what
But,
I'm thinking about too.
But
maybe it's just me, but I do get a little bit of country from Penny.
really,
Like there's a little bit of rural in her backstory or whatever in my imagination.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Maybe some of that has filtered through because of my own background without me being aware of it. I mean, I still don't consciously hear myself as having an accent, but people tell me it's there.
well, I don't think I do either, but obviously I do. You know.
Yeah, you whenever you talk, you're like California, California, California.
Yes,
You're like a Pokemon.
Hey dudes, what's going on? It's me, Jonas. I'm here to hang out with everyone. All right, yeah.
Okay, look.
I mean, you could do the same to me, right? You're like, hey, I'm Miller. I'm here to tell you about Texas.
Oh, this is GC. Welcome to the Canadian channel.
Oh,
You know everything's bigger in Texas.
your accent
Everything's
is
bigger here.
Don't feel bad.
Ladies.
Your accent is charming. It really is.
I'm giving you as much Scottish accent as I could, Captain, but I get the lady more.
See, okay, we were talking about it earlier today in the HD Discord of like where people come from, and I forget because it was like Greg was saying he's like, oh, I live in Alabama, but I'm actually from Brooklyn, and I'm like, oh, your accent makes so much more sense now.
Greg's from. Wow. Okay.
I did not know that either.
Oh. Hey.
And Rick,
I guess it does kind of. Oh, okay.
Rick, are you from Alabama?
What? No.
Okay.
No, Rick's from Australia. He's a kangaroo.
Australia.
Okay, thank you.
Stoker's from Castlevania.
Oh God, I wish. Yes, in my heart.
Then you have to deal with the Belmonts. How would you deal with that?
It's the same way I deal with every problem: seduction.
Oh wait, the real. The real
That's where
place
I got
is
Richard. You know that.
Yes, the real place is Transylvania, but still. I still accept the answer of Stoker's from Castlevania.
He was made in a game studio in Japan. Synthesized from only
explains
the
some
battiest
things.
compounds available.
Seriously, when I was picking up my my green cat idea, I was like, you gotta be. If you made him more human, what would you have? It'd be a staff and a whip, because I just can't let go of those classics.
It's okay, GC. None of us can.
The golden staff and the Belmont whip.
And of course, as we all know, GC's accent is Bonjour, je sais quoi?
What?
Je ne sais français?
I believe GC's accent
Oui.
is Atlantic, Northern Atlantic.
GC's accent is from Salad-Cadia.
People that love to call my accent Scottish. And
Okay.
and to be and here's some fun facts. My mother's birthday is on St. Patrick's Day, and a lot of people do. We did some ancestry tests one time, and yes, we did actually find out we had quite a bit of Scottish in us. So I'm starting to see some nails here, but yes, and some of the people at work do consider pick up a Scottish accent, but then they say Irish too.
Do you know like what clan you're from?
Clan? No.
Oh, okay.
I've never done one of those ancestry tests because I have actual documentation of what my family is. One half of my family is Native American, one half of my family is Germans. And the German half has been here for about 500 years.
Nice.
So I always say that I am American.
I'm
Because
super.
it's
Yeah,
like
that's the same
literally
for me.
my family has been here for hundreds of years. Like I am American.
I am super recent on both sides. My great grandparents' generation came on both sides. They immigrated around the 1910s, so we haven't been here that long.
I just spawned in the bayou one dark and stormy night.
The door.
You actually have the same wet nurse as Kermit the Frog.
There's something you don't hear every day.
Sure isn't.
Despite all that, I always consider myself a true heart at Cape Breton. And that is a fact. Because,
Nice.
well, of course, I was born at Cape Breton. So, when you think Cape Bretoner, you think...
Alive
is that
Mall
the-
staff side.
When you think Cape Breton, you
With
think...
back rooms.
You think of... Let me see. You think of ships, miners, and violins.
I think there's a
Classic
brand of
stuff.
crackers that's called Cape Breton too. I might be wrong.
It could be.
You, Jonas, never.
Yeah, mostly with your area, your part of the world, GC. I think of like fishing and like mostly fishing.
Well,
I mean, the thing I always think of is the log driver because of the song.
Yes.
What the
Burling,
song?
burling down the white waters.
It goes burling down and down the white waters. It's all our drivers go. It's where they go burling down and down the white waters. Okay.
I forget. Is Great Big Sea from your area? They're from they're from like Newfoundland and Labrador. So that's also something I think of. What else? Oh yeah, and you have the weird 1/2 time zone.
Atlantic time zone. I think that I don't know. I have to double check.
Like, isn't there one like half of one of the islands is like on like 5.5 time or whatever? I don't know.
5.5 time.
Yeah,
I've heard that term before. 1 second,
I mean,
actually.
Like 5.5 hours off of Greenwich.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. There's some kind of screwy. It's like a tiny little slice of Canada. I don't know. Okay, here it is. So Saint Pierre and Miquelon, however you say it, are 3.5 hours off from Greenwich.
They keep finding new and interesting ways to create the cone.
If I was talking about Canadian time zones. But yeah, I have to admit I don't know it, but I have heard of it. And I'm trying to think right now. Because, like I say, because I'm in the maritime
This hole
province,
was
I don't
made
really-
for me.
Yes, thank you. I've seen 3 people literally tweet that same exact thing.
I love it.
Shoot.
Literally, multiple people have come up to that exact point and just been like, Amiga fault.
I like how that's a meme now.
What, I don't get the meme. What did I miss?
Okay, so there's
Oh,
a Junji
God.
Ito comic. It's like a short comic called The Enigma of Amigura Fault, which is basically this weird. I mean, they're all of his stories are weird, but
Yes,
it's
they
this
are.
weird story about how a sudden fault upthrust, like an earthquake, creates this exposed area of rock in Japan, which has like the whole side of the upthrust has human-shaped holes in it, and these holes coincide with the exact body measurements of various people who eventually show up and slowly go insane and enter into the holes. Like, they're like, this hole was
Yeah, no matter
made
how
for
much
me.
they resist, going into the hole just becomes more and more attractive on their psyche until
Right.
they can no longer stop themselves.
And I won't give away the twist, but basically it just gets really strange because Junji Ito, like, he literally can make spirals scary.
Oh yeah, that's right. Aren't they working on an Uzumaki anime?
Are they?
Yeah, it's gonna be on Adult Swim at some point.
I'm not sure if looking forward to it is quite the right word because
Oh, it is for me.
like Junji Ito stuff, I like it, but I don't like it at the same time. It's like I start reading it, and I'm like, well, I guess I have to finish this. Of course, it's Stoker loves it because it's horror. Asian horror is its own weird thing.
It is.
It's really just like on the surface. Sorry, do you mind if I go onto this tangent?
No, by all means, Jonas, please.
You got 2 minutes.
Yeah, on the surface,
You got 2 minutes.
you have some familiar elements. Ghosts, nature spirits, demons that have horns and are funny colors. But then there's this whole different vocabulary of like weird shit that these creatures do that have some roots in like Shinto and other, and various little cultural bits and bobs. And I'm trying to think of a specific example, but and you get horror like Uzumaki, where there's no, the core concept is, it's not a monster, it's not a demon, it's just the abstraction of spirals just like driving everyone insane. I mean, it's like, how do you explain that?
You just did.
Yeah, well, I guess I did. But I mean, like, how would you explain that to like the average American horror movie goer? Like, oh no, the enemy's spirals. It's not.
I don't know, man. There's a fair amount of horror stuff where the concept is like something weird going on, and
I suppose so. Yeah, I guess
the Hujimafluki.
I think it's more true now. It doesn't have to be a guy with like a mangly latex face, and
Well, those are the things that would like be actually horrifying. It's just like something we physically cannot understand, right? That's what cosmic horror is based on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and Uzumaki and things like that are kind of cosmic horror-y.
God.
Naruto Uzumaki is a horror? Oh, who would have thought?
If you're curious, GC, just Google. It's Uzumaki. Google up the manga. I think it's all online, probably somewhere. It's interesting. I mean, I don't know. There's also the movie, which I saw like, God, I think I saw that at my friend's house when I was really stoned. Anyway. Anyway, we're just about up on midnight, but we do have fun here, don't we?
We do. It's true. Woohoo.
Boo-hoo?
Oh, indeed. And thank you, Boxer. Boxer clipped the appropriate moment.
Which is the appropriate moment?
This hole was made for me.
Oh. Of course. This hole is my hole. Okay, anyway.
Wow.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Spicy.
I still want to find out if Twitch is actually going to do an NSFW section. I'm really
Has anyone looked into that? Because I haven't looked into it to see if it's like legit.
I made a memo, but it's
what
like
is?
low on,
Oh, Twitch, right.
It's low on my priority list right now. But I am actually curious about that. Not because I want to watch like NSFW Twitch streams. I mean, I kind of don't, but it would be nice to just draw like art without having to worry about getting dinged.
Oh, what you're saying is like NSFW Twitch streams where it's like, I don't know, someone playing like League of Legends naked.
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna do. Are they gonna try?
Well, yeah, of course. There was already an attempt at that. There was an adults-only streaming site like that. It didn't last super long, but it was totally a thing.
I mean, like, it's like making people okay, fine, but like, I don't want to juxtapose that with gaming. Just like, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not gonna. If someone wants to, that's cool. That's their thing. It's just not my thing. You know what I mean? I barely even look at Twitch streamers when they're playing. I'm mostly focusing on the game.
Me, my name's Jonas.
Yeah, I
look
know.
at things.
I'm a big hater. I listen to the commentary.
He's like, I read it for the articles.
Why not? It's how you become good.
Boxer also clipped the inappropriate moment.
Oh, good. We have a lot of those in our streams.
I'm pretty much settled for streaming classics now.
Streaming classic like games?
Yeah, pretty much the PlayStation 3 stuff.
You've been going again lately, haven't you? I've been missing it. Sorry.
Yeah, after playing Elden Rings, I just said, "Oh man, I got to get back into this," and I realized PlayStation 1. That's where it all began. Mega Man Legends, Suikoden, all the other stuff. I'm playing those again.
Spyro.
Spyro, I don't have.
I know. I'm just. Wasn't that one of the big PS1 draws back in the day?
I was going to put in. I always playing Resident Evil, but I mean, no Crisis. Anyway.
Yeah, don't forget to post like in the Discord when you're about to start, because I never like when you're going. I'm usually like working on commissions, so I'm not always paying attention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good news is I am definitely playing. One thing I started doing on my streams that's different now. I no longer really play horror games. I had exception.
Really?
Yeah, it was like I love horror games. I'm not gonna lie, but it seems like the only real horror games that people were really interested in were either Resident Evil or let me see, Dead by Daylight. But I gotta be honest, it's not as attractive as it used to be. So
yeah, I've heard Dead by Daylight has gone downhill.
Well, it was fun at first. Like it was pretty much. I loved playing Michael Myers. Not gonna lie, but like the thing is, like it's pretty much like okay, we'll get all these cool horror characters in here, but they're not exactly like you remember them, like character-wise. And I was like, oh, well, that's okay. It's a game, and but then Nemesis and then you have.
I always thought it was. Sorry, go on, Juicy.
Well, I'm just basically reminiscing, but yeah, it's cool they got a whole bunch of characters in the horror movies. That was what really grabbed me in the first place. But then you realize you're just putting in, like, they're being lazy with the mechanics, I noticed.
Well, it's weird because, like, whenever you get a bunch of horror movie villains together from different franchises, different stories, it's like, how do you, like, compare their relative abilities and power levels? Like, do you have to get into like, okay, Freddy's got level 5 slash, and like Jason's got level 2 hockey mask, James, I don't know what you know what I'm saying? Like do they get stats?
That's the thing. Like it's pretty much like you get 2 strikes, you're out. Put them in the corner and continue your usual horror thing, which was the norm.
If you've got Pinhead, does he like summon Chain? And I don't know. It just gets
he does.
Because okay, it's strange to me because like you think of these characters as having like their so-called attacks are just start out as like weird thematic like consequences. They're not really like meant to be like okay, this is their power.
Yeah.
So it strikes me as strange. It's like, okay, now you need to quantify exactly how many hits it takes to, kill Freddy or whatever.
How many hits does it take to get to the center of a Freddy pop?
Now, all the survivors got in there is flashlights. They're going to beat you with their flashlights, guys. Get ready to it.
And what do you do? And like, what do you do with a character that's seemingly unkillable, like Sadako or something? It's like
most of them are kind of unkillable if you get too deep in the weeds with this.
Yeah.
Luckily, they did put up a backstory for that. It's that the whole game is literally designed that we're all just endlessly feeding off hope for the affinity, the entity in Dead by Daylight. So they did create their own horror monster in the series. But the problem is basically everybody's in there to help feed the entity. The the killers are there to, unknowingly, don't even know about the entity, except for Michael Myers so far, which is pretty cool. Michael Myers
knows about it?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
And basically, he was invited there. But yeah, basically, they're mostly there to do what they do best, kill the survivors, and the survivors are just trying to get out of there somehow, but of course they don't realize that they're stuck in an eternal nightmare. Right. So it's basically that's how the story goes, and it's an infinite nightmare for the survivors, and it's basically a kill fest for the killers. And and they're just doing this for the entity, who's basically playing this like a chess master.
Yeah. God, I love it. I
Mhm.
love it. It's so. It's like the video game version of those conversations you have in the cafeteria, like yeah. I mean, like could Darth Vader beat up Jaws?
I mean, that's 100% what it is. Is that it's like those nerdy conversations of just like, oh yeah, who's better, Freddy or?
That's pretty much what
Superman versus Goku.
I was waiting for it.
Well, I mean, it's like you go in there and you want to make sure you're the best Michael Myers killer. Never mind Jason. Well, of course Jason's not in it yet, but I can tell he's going to be in there someday. But he's better than Freddy Krueger. Never mind all the third characters. They got nothing on Michael Myers.
Hat Luffy versus Ultra Instinct Shaggy.
Oh my god!
Speaking of which, one thing that really gripes me is I don't like their items for the killers. As cool as it is to make references to movies, they skip on the items. You'd think that something like a killer having really cool... Michael Myers having the tombstone of... I can't believe I'm forgetting right
Judith
now.
Myers, that's his sister's name.
Yes. Having the tombstone of Judith Myers would basically allow him to basically steamroll everybody in the game, but no. It just...
Wait, hang on. We're just going for it. Oh, yes! Sorry, go on.
If you were to put a whole bunch of blood points in to get something like Judith's tombstone, you figured, well, Michael Myers would definitely steamroll the survivors. Well, of course, that would be bad, but I would think there would be something more interesting with that tombstone. Like, he gets the one-shot Judith if she's in the game. Something like that. Something cool and cosmetic like that.
Nice. Oh,
Hey,
all right.
Yes.
Well, we hope
Think it
you've
may be
enjoyed
snooze
the 2 or 3 Comic-Con panels that we've done tonight.
oh, man. We kept this going. Wow. Or I came an hour late.
Tomorrow night
Yeah.
we're going to apply ancient philosophical schools of thought to comics. And anyway,
Oh, I want
Is
that.
the Batman halal?
Batman. I don't know.
Hello.
I tried to eat him.
I have nothing to say to that.
And that's what you're going to think about when you go to sleep.
I'll bring my fish next time, even though I don't eat fish.
All right.
If Bruce Wayne goes to the bathroom, is it called guano?
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, my brain.
All right.
Okay, let's get
I'll
out
see you all tomorrow, probably.
Logical answer is no.
Maybe not at this point. I don't know.
Good night, everybody.
All right,
Good night.
Have a good night, folks.